As you can see, the selection is vast, to say the least. Look at me using big words when I'm in a wine. They say I'm in my element, and they are not kidding. I mean, I might not come. I know I joked last week when I was at Cedar Point that I wasn't coming back. I may see if they can give me a job here at the Andersons, and I may not come back to NBC 24 now either. They're not going to let me out anymore because I keep saying that I'm not coming back to work.
So you can come
because
work for
I'm
us.
going to come work here.
Yeah.
You don't mind, do you?
Oh,
you need some help here in the wine department?
We love people with passion.
And I have a passion for this, for
Absolutely.
real.
We'll start you out real quick here.
Thank you.
Okay.
You can help me. You can give me all the knowledge that I need because you have a ton of knowledge about this.
We love questions. People come in and say, I have a budget, and we'll help you find a great wine no matter what the price is.
Well, and you mentioned that a little bit off the top, but I think that's important to note. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can if you want to get a great wine, but you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good wine.
It's like buying a car. If you want to spend tens of thousands of dollars to get a great car, you can do that, but there's a lot of good inexpensive cars, and there's a lot of great inexpensive wine that there is now.
Absolutely. Well, the one thing people like to do is buy something that they feel like has a bit of a connection to home. And you can get a wine that has a connection to our dear state of Ohio, can't you?
That's right. It's Ohio Wine Month.
Yes.
And there are over 100 different wineries in the state of Ohio.
That's hard to believe.
A lot of them are relatively new in the last 10 to 15 years, but there's back in the late 1800s, Ohio was actually the center of the wine trade in the United States.
Huh.
Down near Cincinnati, there were lots of wineries, and their big product was a sparkling catawba. And the vast majority of that was shipped to all of the royalty houses of Europe. The sparkling catawba was their drink of choice. Well, over the years, the wine trade moved to California, which has better conditions, and it almost totally died out here in the state of Ohio. But there's been a lot of vineyards along the Lake Erie area, especially up near Ashtabula. And one of my favorite wineries, which we're going to taste for our wine tasting this Thursday night, this is M. Cellars. This is their Chardonnay, and they make some great Riesling and some other red wines. But a lot of people know in Ohio, they're known for their sweet wines, Concord, which is the Harvey Schwartz. This is Chateau Thibault from Helena, Ohio, which is a little east and a little south of Bowling Green. Really nice wines. And also from the wines from Breitenbach down in the southeastern portion. But a lot of people know the Concord, Catawba, Niagara, and lots of other fruit and sweet wines here in the state of Ohio.
Well, I was laughing earlier. I told you I'm really easily swayed by wine labels, and that M. Cellars would totally be one that would sway me. I love that cool logo. That's really cool. You said sweet wines. Is that something that is easier to produce here than the drier wines?
Well, the conditions are right in Ohio for certain grapes. It doesn't get hot enough, long enough, as it does in California and other places to produce the big, bold, full-bodied Cabs and Merlots. We make some nice Merlots. Pinot Noir, Cabernet Franc is another grape that is red grape that's produced. But primarily it's the whiter wines, the Rieslings, the Catawbas that do really well in the state of Ohio. But don't count Ohio wineries out, because they're a very inventive group of almost wine pioneers in the state. So they're trying lots and lots of new things, and each winery will have its own specialty. Well,
you mentioned earlier too when we were talking about people we grew up on, you know, the sodas and on sweet things. So really, if somebody has not tried wine because they're afraid of that, this is local, you know, Ohio wines are a great way for them to perhaps try wines too.
Oh, absolutely. That, you know, they try sweet, they try a little more, and then they try wine that's a little less sweet, then a little less sweet. And then one day they try a dry wine and go, oh my gosh, I can drink that too. It's, you know, drinking dry wine is like drinking black coffee. Nobody starts out drinking black coffee, but one day you come out in the morning, there's no sugar, there's no milk, but you've got to have a cup of coffee. So all right, I can stand this, and then all of a sudden they discover they can do dry, and they start drinking black coffee.
I didn't become this, you know, drink Cabernet every night girl overnight.
So what did you start out with?
Moscato? I'm almost embarrassed to say that a little bit.
Moscato is the #1 sweet wine of choice for wine drinkers. The sales of White Zinfandel have gone down. The sales of Moscato have skyrocketed over the years. And there's hundreds of different brands of Moscatos that are out here.
Well, it's funny because I don't think I could drink it now if I had to.
Well, I know you're a dry wine drinker, but what I'd like you to do is try something that is one of our favorite wines. This is a blueberry wine.
I do like blueberries.
And what I really like are the Stelvin
I was saying
closures.
before we started,
Okay.
we got like 45 seconds, so pour me some of that. Because I was saying, okay, does that say something about my laziness? Because I love you called it something special.
Stelvin closures. It's no longer denotes an inferior wine.
Okay, that is good. I could drink that.
Nice,
it is good.
Nice blueberry flavors.
I don't
sweet,
need dessert if I was having that.
but not too sweet.
No, it's not too sweet. And it tastes like blueberries. I'll have some dessert. We'll be back in a minute. I think we're going to talk about beer. We're talking beer next. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Okay.